Hey guys, this is Ashley and you're watching Super Gorge TV. I'm here today with author Zane. She's here to promote her new movie, Addicted, which will be in theaters this Friday, October the 10th. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm great. Now, you started in 97, writing on AOL, way before we had social media.
Right.
I'm a blogger, so I feel like kind of what you did with AOL, sending your stories to your group chats that you had. It's kind of like how we do a blogging.
Right.
What is like the pros and cons that you say, how the internet affects media writers from 97 to 2014?
Well, I think first of all, it's a huge difference because you're right. Back then, we didn't have any of that stuff. There was no MySpace, no Facebook, no any of that kind of stuff. So we literally had to either connect with people in chat rooms or drive people to our individual websites. That was really about it. Even like mailing lists, email lists and stuff didn't exist back then. So I really think the opportunities are much greader for writers now to build up a grassroots type of audience. That wasn't always the case.
And AOL kicked you off.
They did. No, I'm still on AOL, but they took my
the stories down because they were a little too risque.
Yeah, exactly.
Now it's almost been almost 20 years since you started, and you finally have your first feature film, Addicted, out. Was doing a feature film always the goal?
It wasn't always the goal, but I guess as a writer, of course, eventually it becomes your dream. It's one of those things where, it would be great if it happens, but I wasn't totally consumed with it because I still love writing books, and that's something I'll always do. But I'm very excited to have Addicted, which was my first actual novel to become a movie.
Oh, really? So with being an African-American woman, do you ever feel like you have been hindered or your work has been overlooked, especially being in erotica?
I know it.
You know it? Because we have TV shows like Sex and the City, which I love, but it's all white women. And it was a show that was on for 8 years, and it was praised. And then, now it's like 50 Shades of Grey is out, and it's praised. With us being African-American women, what's your advice for us to embrace and express our sexuality and not feel ashamed for it? Because a lot of times when we're called hoes and sluts, and now the word thought. And even Beyonce with her last album, it was very sexually visual, and she was everybody had something to say about it. So how can we as black women embrace our sexuality without feeling bad?
I think we still have a long way to go, but I also feel like we've come a long way, and I do feel like Addicted will help a lot of women deal with that whole thing, just like the book has done over the years. But I think ultimately women are just women, and I deal with women of all races and from all around the world. And the one thing I do know is that we all have mostly the same problems.
Now with Zoe, the main character from Addicted, on the outside, it's perfect. She's beautiful. She has a gorgeous husband played by Boris Kodjoe, which all women are like, I would never cheat on Boris Kodjoe.
Right.
She has beautiful children, a great career. How did you draw inspiration for Zoe?
Well, to me, Zoe, actually Addicted started out originally as a short story I was just playing around with at the time. I ended up setting it aside, and I went back and wrote a book. And again, I had no intention of ever publishing the book. It was just something I did for self-entertainment. But I really, like I do with all of my books, I get caught up in the characters, kind of consumed in them and kind of live out their lives. So for me, she was just a fascinating woman. And I knew a lot of women like her, and I still know a lot of women like her. And the Dr. Spencer character is actually fashioned after one of my best friends.
Oh, really?
Who actually is a black female psychiatrist in Atlanta, which is one reason why I based the book in Atlanta. Because I used to live in Atlanta, but I wasn't living there at the time that I wrote the book.
And when you do write, how much do you pull from yourself and your friends, and how much is you just fiction, you make up, you add more?
It depends on the actual whatever it is I'm writing.
Are your friends ever offended when they're reading a character and they're like, Jane sound a lot like me?
Oh, they love it. Oh, no, please. Are you kidding?
Now, when you're writing, is there anything that's off limits, or that, once you've written it, you go back and reread it oh, did I go too far? Is this too much?
Yes, that has happened, and there have been some things that I've elected not to publish for that reason.
Really?
Because I don't want anybody to get, hurt.
Because it's personal.
Well, no. I mean, it's just things that I think may go a little bit too far, and I know that a lot of people read my books and actually do the things. And I'll give you a perfect example. One time I was writing a column for Essence about having sex in unusual places, and they were like, Zane, you don't get people arrested,
right?
That kind of stuff. I had to
and you will get the pay attorney fees.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So.
I definitely understand that. Now, with you being a writer for so long and having 14 bestsellers, you know, you've had your success with your Cinemax series. You still, you know, have a mystique about yourself. You know, I could be sitting next to you in a coffee shop reading one of your books and not know that you're a few feet away.
Right.
How have you kept, you know, yourself a little anonymous, away from the public eye?
I think because I live just a very normal life most of the time. There are times when I do get like recognized all the time, and there are other times when I don't. So it's just very interesting.
Are people ever shocked when they learn that you are Zane? Are they like, they expected something different?
Well, I'm sure that
I think people expect you to walk around in like bustiers and cuffs.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. Some of them do, yeah. But it's been great. It's been a great journey.
Great. Do you think that you are going to expand from erotica into any other types of writings? Because I've heard some that you're working on like other movies that have nothing to do with erotica.
That's true.
Good.
And all of my books I don't consider to be erotic. Some of them I do, some of them I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, like Love is Never Painless, I wouldn't consider that to be erotica. Definitely not Breaking the Cycle.
Okay.
There are a few of them that I wouldn't actually consider that. But for me, I'm just a very detailed writer, so I don't tone it down when it comes to the sex.
Right. Now tonight you are having a premiere of Addicted in your hometown of DC. How exciting is that?
It's very exciting. Very exciting. If I didn't, I would have had
you have like all your family coming tonight to see it? Are you going to be covering your eyes for some parts like
Not at all. It's going to be interesting because my father is one of the most well-known black theologians in the world, and he's coming tonight, so that's going to be interesting.
Oh, goodness.
He's never watched my actual show.
Oh, he hasn't? No. So Daddy probably will be covering his eyes on
No, he won't. No, he won't.
I'll be looking at Daddy like, Daddy, don't watch this part. Let everyone know where they can follow you on social media, your websites, and everything.
Well, they can find me on Facebook and Twitter at Author Zane, and on Instagram at Planet Zane. They can find out more about the movie at zanesaddicted.com. And my main website is eroticanoir.com. And then there's zaneonstage.com for my first play.
You have a lot of stuff going on. Yeah. Make sure you guys follow her. And, of course, make sure you check out Addicted in theaters this Friday.